Alright everyone, time for another booze vlog video. Yeah, okay, here it is. V.I.P Brewery's Village Ghost. I pretty much buy any beer with a 40 theme to it, a paranormal, supernatural thing going on. Put an alien or a goblin or a ghost on the front and I'll buy it. I don't know why, I'm just very interested in those subjects. I was going to drink one of the ones that Ray sent me, and then I realised I hadn't put any in the fridge, so I just thought I'd drink this one tonight because it's been in the fridge. I actually left it out of the fridge for a little while to let it warm up a little bit, because I think stouts taste better when they're a bit warmer, not straight out of the fridge. 4.5% vol. Yeah, interesting. Nice artwork. Well, it's kind of a basic label, but it's got a ghost on it at least. Yeah, Alnwick is where they've got Alnwick Gardens, which is a big, like, stately gardens, and they've got the poison gardens inside it, and they've got all these like entheogen plants, Salvia divinorum, like a massive salvia plant growing there. What else? Cat. All these different poisonous plants. They've got a massive cannabis plant that they grow. They've got a license to grow cannabis, but it's like in a big cage, and they do a tour of the garden and give you all this anti-drug propaganda as you go around and tell you that cannabis kills brain cells and all this bullshit. But it's a nice village. This is where this was made, apparently. And it was actually made, like, a couple of booze and talk videos ago I did one called Galapagos Stout, and weirdly this is another beer that's also brewed on the business park, because the Galapagos Stout one was brewed on the business park locally, and this one is, but it's a different business park. Galapagos Stout was brewed in Sunderland, this is brewed in Alnwick. So yeah, there you go. The Village Ghost is a very dark stout with strong bitterness and stunning coffee caramel aftertaste. I don't think the Village Ghost name relates to any particular story. They had a lot of different ones on the shelf, like Village. It was like Village something. I can't remember the other ones, like Village Church or Village Square or something like that. So I don't think the Village Ghost relates to a particular ghost story, which would be cool. I'd like more beers relating to weird ghost stories, preferably with the ghost story printed on the bottle. I like that kind of thing. Anyway, let's get it open. Cap's got an out on it. Oh, that is extremely malty. It smells like crushed up bourbon creams. Yeah, biscuits, crushed biscuits and chocolate. Got the old dimple mug. For some reason stouts taste good out of a mug like this. A little bit of a head on that, not much, tiny head. Let's see, very orangey, dark coloured caramel colours under the stout itself. Extremely dark. So if I hold it up to light, you barely sort of ruby red colours, but hardly any light actually getting through it. So yeah, no head on that. Barely, it's completely dissipating. That is very bitter, but it's kind of bitter in a different way to the last stout I had. I don't really know exactly how. So I'm just fiddling with the camera because it keeps moving around and annoying me. For some reason it reminds me of beetles. I don't know why. I've never eaten a beetle. Just it makes me think of beetles for some weird reason. Now I can't get the image of beetles out of my head whenever I eat them. The insect, I mean, not the vehicle. Yeah, it's like dates and plums and them kind of flavours and coffee grounds. Yeah, I'm not getting the what does it say? Coffee caramel aftertaste. I'm not really getting the caramel, but it does have a really the aftertaste. It really hits you, and I can't really tell what it is. It maybe it's plums or something, but it's like the aftertaste is somehow stronger than the actual taste of the beer. It's like you swallow it and suddenly the flavour just sort of hits you. Interesting one, this. I like it. Again, it's thin and like thin in the mouthfeel compared to other stouts. I must just have stouts mixed up with some other drink. Because I always expect stouts to be really heavy tasting, but these last two I've had have been quite light. As in like a thin tasting. Good beer. I think maybe I'm just more inclined to like these ones with paranormal things on the label, just because I like paranormal things. You could just give me some crappy beer with a ghost on the front and I'd like it. Wish I had a bit more head to them now. I don't like these. They look flat when the head dissipates, I think. So my doctor wants to put me on antidepressants, and I kind of don't want to do that. I'm getting a lot of depression the last year, I'd say. I finally went to the doctor to talk about it because usually, like I always get it, but I usually just wait it out. It might last a few months and then it'll go away, become a bit easier. But it's been like 12 months and it just seems to. I just seem to be feeling worse and worse as time goes on. It just doesn't seem to be going away. So I went to the doctor and I could get antidepressants, which everybody I know who's been on them or know someone who's on them has said don't because they mess with your head or something. So that always puts me off. So I don't know if anyone watching has got any experience with antidepressants. Like give me some advice maybe. The other option is getting like therapy, which I'm considering. But I'm also put off the idea because I used to go out with a girl who was training to be a counsellor and she was a fucking idiot, and it's kind of soured my opinion of all counsellors and therapists since then. Even they're probably not all like that, but bad memories and makes me think, I don't know, it's maybe prejudice against therapists in that way. But I will try it out maybe. Yeah. I feel like the last year I've just not I've sort of not had any enthusiasm for anything in my life. Like, I've not really wanted to hang out with people, or I've not really made any effort to see my friends or anything like that really. Stuff like wanting to go out and do things and find a new job, or do work on something new. Just, I don't know, I just don't feel like doing any of them things anymore. So yeah, I'm probably going to get some help for it. It's pretty good, this beer. I'm going to finish it off. I can't really describe the taste very well with this one. It's got a flavour to it that I can't really put my finger on. I mean, it's got that malty, biscuity taste and the plums and the dark flavours, but there's something else there. It's like a familiar, like it's almost sparking like a memory at the back of my mind, but I can't really put my finger on it. I keep thinking of Beatles for some reason. I don't know why. I'll show you this book I'm reading. It's pretty fucked up. Probably the worst book I've ever read. Actually, not like the worst as in bad writing, just like, well, I'll show you. It's called Predicate, The Dunblane Massacre 10 Years After, by Peter Sotos. And I'm really drawn to anything that's kind of, any like books or films that just kind of sick and twisted things, and I didn't really think anything could like disgust me much, but this book has managed to do it. I think it's the fact that every page has the pictures of the kids killed in the Dunblane massacre printed across the top, and the things that Peter Sotos is writing underneath, sort of offset by these images of murdered children. Just I'd say is the very limits of what. Also, free speech is another thing, and censorship is something that I've always been interested in, because ever since I got really into like horror films, and the ones which were censored and banned in the 80s, the video nasties, topic of like free speech and sort of that kind of thing has always been interesting to me, and this is the sort of thing I'd consider like the very limits of free speech. It's fucking disgusting, and it just talks about like child porn and sucking people off in glory holes and stuff like that. And it probably doesn't sound bad to me describing it, but it's the kind of thing I can't imagine anyone reading and not getting like riled up about it. I'm actually really enjoying the book, but it's disgusting. Absolutely, like one of the worst things I've read, but in a good way, I think. I also don't know how much of it is true, like what he's writing, like how much of it is. A lot of it he's writing as if it's from his own life experience, but I don't know how much is actually real, or if how much is just writing to try and piss someone off. It's quite interesting, but I might do a review. I keep meaning to do book reviews. I've read some good books recently. Just never get around to reviewing them. Also, if you go on Amazon and look at the reviews for this book, because of the title of it, quite a few people have bought it not really knowing what to expect and given it 1-star reviews because they've just been horrendously sickened by the first few chapters that they read. I find that quite amusing. It's also horribly expensive. I paid a bit too much for this. I didn't pay the normal going price for this book, which is, I think it goes from anywhere between like £200 and £600 for a copy of this book. I didn't pay anywhere near that, but I did pay too much for it. So yeah, for such a sickening book, quite a lot to pay. There's a tang to this as well. Definite tang. Yeah, I haven't really said much about this beer, but I actually think it's nice. I wish the label was a bit more interesting. It looks boring. That's the only thing I'd say about it. I like supernatural beers, but yeah, it's a boring label. Not a nice colour either. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone, and Greg. Yeah, thanks for watching. See you later, everybody.